What's up guys? So today we're going to be doing an install on this bucket seat that I got. This is a Bride Lomax seat and I got it from a buddy of mine. We're actually going to use these PLM low seat rails. More info on that later, as well as these are going to be some of the tools that you're going to need for this process. We're just going to go over the whole thing, the step-by-step process. Seems pretty simple. This is my first time, me and my brother's first time doing this, as well as like the first time being on camera again in a while, so you guys haven't seen us in a while. But yeah, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna get into it.
In order to install the seat, we needed the seat rail, and the kind folks down at PLM actually sent us their adjustable low-down seat rail. Usually these are going to go for around $150, but they were actually kind enough to sponsor us, so we were able to get the price down. We're going to be using this. We're going to unbox it and show you guys how to install it.
Alright guys, so we opened it up and this is what you're going to get out of the box. Very well packaged. We got some of the bolts there. One of the rails right here. All individually packaged as well. Left and right. This is going to be the bar. This is what you do though. You pull it up to adjust the seating position for the tall or short people. These are going to be the brackets on the side, the mounts. Once again, two different kinds. And yeah, that's it. Alright guys, so this is fully unboxed now. We got once again the brackets and everything like that. This is with the kind of the tools that you're gonna probably need is we got a ratchet. I put a little extension on it. I'm not too sure how long with the extension, but it'll be easier to reach in sort of the behind the areas to get the seat off, as well as from what I've heard, you need a 14mm socket, as well as a 10mm, because I will show you a reason why we need that one. This is time to get all the little, in case your fingers can't get in the crevices. Alright guys, so the reason why you need the 10mm is because you actually want to disconnect your battery, your negative terminal. Just make sure the battery's off for about maybe three or 4 minutes before you start wrenching on the car, because once again, the OEM seat is connected to a bunch of your electrical, and it's going to be, you know, connected to your airbag and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you have it disconnected. This way you could safely, you know, start wrenching on it. So we're actually going to be going back here, and you're going to find your first two 14 mils in the very back. So under this cover and back on that other cover. It's kind of hard to see, but there's that one. And then another angle, it's going to be right up front. These ones are easier to see. You got one here and then another one over there. So there's only going to be 4 holding the seat, as well as the wiring harness for the airbag and things like that.
Right here. This is chisel.
Yeah, this is pretty sharp though. Oh well, okay. So yeah, the covers, you kind of just want to pry it open. You know, try and not use a sharp tool. This is a little sharp, but I'm just gonna try and be careful. A lot of the guys use these plastic trim removers, and that will work really well with this. But yeah, we're just gonna remove that so we can expose the 14s, because the front ones are already exposed. Can you push it forward? Listen. Oh my God, what a life-changing. So we were being a little dumb, and I could just push the seat forward. So now you could obviously see very easily what I need to take off. This is the first one right here. Oh shoot. I totally just cut up my trim. I totally just...
Oh shoot.
Oh well. See, once again, don't use something sharp, or be more careful. I was getting a little impatient. But now they're exposed. Now we can start getting those. Alright guys, so yeah, this is the 14. We're gonna start taking this off. Okay. Alright, so after you take those 2 off, you're gonna start the front ones. So we're gonna do the other way around. Push this all the way forward. And you could try and give yourself as much clearance as possible. So I'm actually gonna move my steering wheel a little higher and out of the way. So it's a little easier for me. Once again, 14 mil. I'm gonna go down here on these last 2. As you can see, this extension is not very long, so I'm hitting the seat, I'm hitting the side of the door, so I'm actually gonna go get a longer extension for this one. Now we got that. Now nothing's hitting in the way. This one right. Alright guys, so I just took out all 4 screws. The next step you want to do is carefully make sure there's no seat belts or anything in the way. You're going to lift it backwards, and this way all your electrical components are underneath. So you have all this stuff that you need to disconnect from this harness. Alright, so yeah, so we're going to disconnect all this. That's the last part, connecting the seat from the car. There you go. After a little while of trying to disconnect these, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So these two are pretty easy to disconnect. This is actually going to be your airbag one, and this one's a tiny bit tricky. All you're going to do is this part has a tab that actually slides upwards like this. So while you hold this up, it's kind of a little hard to hold. There's going to be a little part that exposed, you know, how you kind of like click it in, and that's what you're going to actually do to get this one disconnected. But after you disconnect that, then you can take the seat out. So this is what I disconnected, and it actually is still going to be held by this piece and this one. So I actually had to cut that down. I'm sure you're not going to really need to use those anymore. Also, because if you don't, this is still just going to be connected like that, even with these unplugged. You kind of need to in order to take the seat out. But now there's nothing at all, none of the bolts or anything, so this should completely come out. Alrighty, so this is obviously the seat out. It's a little messy. Obviously you got like French fries and crap like that. So I'm actually gonna clean this up a tiny bit, just because since it's not here, like I don't even know what this is. So things like that. Oh! No, look what fell. Oh! So this is still the OEM seat, very heavy seat. We're actually gonna save a good amount of weight from this one compared to the bride seat. But what I'm actually gonna do now is take off where the seat belt holds, and this is also for the seat belt. The buckle harness is gonna be right here. Right here, this blue one. I'm not too sure what this one is. I know that one's the airbag. So airbag. And this is the seat belt. If you don't connect this back, your car is gonna think that you don't have a seatbelt on, so it's gonna probably yell at you and do the ding noise forever. I'm not too sure, that's just what I believe, but I wanna keep that obviously. So this blue one, you're gonna follow that. Obviously it's running back here to the side, and then it leads to the seat belt. I've seen some guys, they just straight up cut this so they could just have the seat belt buckle, but I obviously want this to kind of be a little bit of a clean install, so we're gonna try and get these off. As you can see, seatbelt, this is the harness connected, and now we gotta get that little piece off. I was struggling. Ronin was able to just use one of these and kind of
I used my hand.
His hand, or he just, you know, it's plastic, but I just want to be careful with the electrical. So yeah, now that that's out, and now you cut these off. Technically, now that I thought that this is, you could probably do the same with these, but once again, there's nowhere to put these on the new seat, so I don't really care about cutting them. But after this one's finally done, now we have our seat belt. Its sensor on, still on, and now we got the whole thing right there. Alrighty, so this is the left side and this is the right side. The right side is going to be the right side, obviously, because it has a hole where your seatbelt's going to actually hook up to, because they thought about that as well, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to tighten this down. Obviously, you want it tight enough so that it doesn't flop everywhere like this, but you want it to obviously stick upwards. So I'm going to start doing that. Alright guys, so yeah, as I said, tightened it a little bit, so now it's not super flimsy, but it's enough to still move it when you adjust your seat. we seem to not have the screws to actually hold the seat to these brackets. They included this as the hardware, which is what's going to be holding the brackets onto the rail, but I don't know what we're supposed to use to get the seat to stay on the bracket, because there's no hardware that is included for that. So in order to get the seat on, in order for this to work, now me and my dad are going to go try and find this kind of a better grade, shorter, you know, thing, so that this way it could fit in here as well as get into the seat a bit better, because this is too long, because this is just going to protrude a bit by like about a lot. So we're going to go find something that's smaller.
So while my brother and my dad are at the store, they told me to basically set it up so that when they come back, they could just put it on. So what I want you to imagine is this is the seat, and we're facing forward right now. These would be the rears, and this would be the front. You see how the front has that little part on it? My brother actually put the seatbelt on the wrong part because we live in America, so the seatbelt is going to go on the right side, and this is going to be the rear. Whenever you're putting on these little like bits, you want the tall ones on the rear, and the shorter ones, you want that to be on the front. You see how the back is taller and the front is smaller, and we're going to basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten these bolts with the nuts that they give us in this, and gonna replace this seat belt on the right side, on the right back side. And basically, this is how you're gonna want it to look before you move on to the next step. You can see I've got all the bolts in on each of the sides. Right now I haven't like fully placed it in, but you see how they can like adjust. Since our seat is not one of the bigger ones, we're gonna be able to adjust it to the exact size that we want. In order to add this little seat bar and to actually adjust the seat, we're facing the seat now. We're gonna slide this basically just over this little thing out here that juts out on both sides. It's gonna slide in, and this is literally just so that when you pull this up, it's gonna move these things up. Oops. You see how these already kind of move up? And that's gonna be the completed PLM low adjustable seat rail. Once again, thank you for sponsoring us. Make sure to check out their website. They have lots of different car parts at pretty good prices. It's where we get a lot of our car parts. And we're gonna show you how it performs with the seat actually on it and in the car. Just to clarify, before I said that we needed to have this face inwards, but actually ran into a problem where the seat would actually hit this indent before we got it to the socket we wanted it to. So right now we are just flipping it back the other way so that the seat can just line flush with the supports and not having to deal with any hitting of this part. So just a warning to you guys, if you want your seat a little lower than most people, you're gonna wanna have this little like curved part on the outside. I wish you had beautiful skills like mine. Oof.
Yeah, I didn't show it, but I just plugged the seatbelt harness back into the actual harness that's still connected to the car. So at the moment, I'll figure out what to do with the airbag one. I have a friend that actually knows what to do about that to bypass it so it doesn't show up. But this one, yeah, the seatbelt buckle. So now when I put in the seatbelt, that light should go away now.
So here we are, guys. Many hours later, we actually have it installed. We had to, you know, adjust this and tailor it to our needs, basically. We actually had it a little too low. We had it at the middle and then down here, and that was just too low. So you might have to adjust it depending on how you like it. As you can see, we have everything in there. We got the bar, we got the PLM seat rail, we've got the seat, and here's the finished product. Looks pretty good, I'd say. So that was the installation of our new car seat. As you can see, we have the new seat in here on the seat rail that PLM sent us. I think it went out pretty well. This is actually the first project that I've really helped on.
Obviously, as you can tell, we're a little tired. We did run into a lot of things. Once again, this is our first time ever installing a seat in a car with little to no instructions, to be honest. And it's pretty self-explanatory. Yes, there's a lot of taking on and off, adjusting, but that's just how kind of like seats go, because everyone is a different size. Everyone has a different preference. Obviously, I like my seat to be pretty low, but I also like it to be leaning a little bit so that it's not too upright. We kind of just found the sweet spot recently, but we had to actually adjust the seat multiple times in order to make it like this. However, once again, with little to no knowledge, we were able to adjust it. So it's a pretty good install. I approve of it. Once again, thank you PLM for sending us the seat rails. As far as like an honest review goes, you know, it has everything that you need. Once again, doesn't come with the hardware for the side mounts, so it'll have everything you need, except you need to get your own bolts, whatever seat you have, in order to get the side mount bracket to connect to the side mount seat. I mean, all it really took was just a quick trip to, you know, your nearest hardware store, and we were able to get the parts we needed. You know, if you just did your research and, you know, you look into it, you should be able to avoid that issue and just be able to have a smooth sail all the way around. As well as the only other issue, semi-issue, but it is adjustable. However, it's not as smooth as we would like it. Obviously, the OEM seats and, you know, most seats with a slider, really easy to adjust. You can adjust the seat, which is really good because, you know, other companies have fixed seats, so then you can't adjust it at all. So it's only one size for one person, and like one person could drive it comfortably. You are able to adjust it. It is kind of a pain, a little bit to do, but once again, nothing's perfect.
So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It took us a little while to make. As you can see, it's nighttime now. But I think we learned a lot, and I think we'll do more projects like this in the future.
We also haven't done a video in person in a very long time, so it's kind of nice. But we're a little rusty, as you could tell, as far as talking in front of the camera again. Also, I kind of look a little rough, but once again, I came off from work and I haven't had the chance to really prepare myself. This was kind of out of the blue. You know, we were actually waiting for the shipment, and it finally had came, and, you know, me and Ronin were very excited to get the install going down. So, you know, I did it straight up after. But that's why I kind of look like this. I want to thank my friend for handing over the seat. I obviously enjoy these. You know, the 9th gen stock seats are the most bolstered seats out there. So I definitely wanted something that would hold me in place when I, you know, around those turns. Good quality seat, I like it, as well as good quality brands holding the seat as one together. So I feel like I have a pretty good setup, very confident in it.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to stay tuned for more videos like this in the future. I'm not gonna
Start posing.
Haven't seen me in years, huh? No. One day.